How's it going, guys? Welcome to vlog number 3. This is coming to you after a long hiatus on YouTube. I think in August, I only posted like 2 videos. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, just not a lot going on YouTube, but a lot going on in life. Had a lot of stuff going on with the kids. Kids going back to school, and just a ton of stuff happening. So didn't really have a lot of time to devote to YouTube, but that's going to change here fairly soon. We're going to get a lot of good videos coming at you here pretty quick. But today, DocTacMom is joining me today for this vlog because I wanted her to share with you an experience that she had about a month and a half ago with the kids. You want to tell them the details?
Okay, so a month and a half ago, I had this crazy idea that I was going to load the kids in the car and drive across the country and go visit my family in Canada.
Ontario, yeah.
DocTac Dad, he of course had to work, so I thought, hey, what would you think if I just drove a 26-hour drive with all the kids? And he said, well, only if you can bring your concealed weapon, so then I know that you're safe as you're traveling. Yep.
And the problem with that is you can't take a gun into Canada, so that was an issue.
So first thing I did was I called all the like the gun stores, like right on the in Michigan, on the other side of the border, to try and see if there's any way they could hold my gun for me, or if what kind of options they had. I also looked into like getting like a PO box or like some kind of storage unit for like a few weeks or whatever. But so anyway, I called these stores up and they said, oh yeah, we do this all the time. Like, what you do is you drop your gun off for a gunsmith clean and check.
A clean and check.
Clean and check. And it varied in price. One place was like $40, one was like $20, one was $30. And so anyway, they said you could drop your gun off, they would clean it and check it for you, and then you just pick it up whenever you're done. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's gonna work awesome. So so I called all the different stores, so I knew I had to be at that store before they closed, before I crossed the border. So I had to time.
That was a problem.
So I had to time my trip. So like the first day I drove 16 hours, and the second day I drove like another 10 hours, and so I had to time it. So I got there, and I got there like half an hour before the store closed, so it was pretty close.
Well, you ended up going, because you were going to drop it off. The store that she ended up going to was what, Gander Mountain?
Yeah, Gander Mountain. There was one in Port Huron, and there was also one in Flint.
In Flint, yeah, I think.
Flint or Lansing, one of those.
Yeah, the one that was closer to Detroit. Was it Lansing?
I can't remember.
I think it's Flint. I think she stopped in Flint.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I think there's one in each, actually.
Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah, there's one in each. So anyway, I was running out of time because I hit a huge rain and hail, crazy windstorm, and I'm like,
the kids were freaking out because of the rain was coming down so hard.
We're like cars are hydroplaning, and you couldn't even see.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was crazy, and so I was stressed. I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to get a hotel across the border and stay another night and wait till the store opens in the morning. But luckily I made it there. I dropped the gun off, and the guy was like, and I explained to the guy, because the guys on the border in Port Huron, they were used to people doing that. So the guy in Lansing or Flint, whichever one it was.
Which is, what, is that 45 minutes from the border?
Yeah, it's like an hour.
Yeah, like an hour from the border.
And so they were a little like, what? You want to drop your gun? He's like, oh, that's actually a really good idea. He's like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So basically, you want us to store your gun here for you. And
that's a clean and check.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, the gun's probably spotless, so you probably don't have to clean it. But
I cleaned it before she left.
Feel free. I'm like, feel free to clean it if you want to, but it's spotless. And so yeah, no problem. So they just took my information, took my ID, wrote down the serial number, and gave me a receipt. And when you come in, just show us this piece of paper with the serial number on it and everything, and your ID. And then when I went to go pick it up, I timed it so I arrived at the store right when it opened, and yeah,
and they get away, and the stores get away with this because you don't have to go through a background check or anything like that to pick up your gun, because it's just the gunsmith cleaning it. So it's just like a gunsmith check. So like anytime you take a firearm into a gun store and have them like do some minor repairs on it or something like that, you don't have to go back through you're not giving them permanent possession of it, so you don't have to go back through and do a re-background check or anything like that. So that's how it's made possible. But it worked pretty well. Do you want to tell them what you did with the ammunition?
They also kept my like extra magazine.
Oh yes, yeah.
And the holster too, like just so I wouldn't have any
just
issues
as a courtesy, yeah.
Any problem. And when I went to pick it up, the guy was like, "Hey." It's like, yeah, you're the one that we're storing your gun for, right? I'm like, yeah, and he says, well, I didn't even get around to cleaning it, so we're not gonna charge you. Yeah, so they stored it for me for free. So
now, if it would have been my ugly mug going in there to do it, they guarantee they would have charged me some money. So whatever.
But he's like, oh, I didn't get around to clean it because I think you already knew. Like,
do you want to tell him what you did with the ammunition?
Oh yeah, so there's a whole issue. I'm like, what am I gonna do with the ammo? Am I just gonna like give it away? Like the guy at the gun store was like, you can give it to me, I'll have it I'll keep it for you. And I was like, oh no, like it was, you know, it's more expensive ammo, so I'm like, well, yeah. So what I did was
she double bagged it.
I put it in a Ziploc bag really tight. Like I unloaded everything and put them in a Ziploc bag really tight, and then I stuck it in a grocery bag and wrapped that up really tight. And then I just went nearby and found a big rock. Like there's like all these bushes and like, you know, greenery area, and there was a big rock, and so I just stuck it under the rock, put the rock on it, and tucked it underneath the bush, and when I came back it was still there.
Yep, so. Dry as ever, right?
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, I thought this would be a really cool tip for you guys that travel internationally, you know, to either Mexico or to Canada, and on a regular basis or even on a non-regular basis, you know, you guys can drop off your firearms at any border town gun store. They usually should do that, you know.
Yeah, there's a few that are like, oh no, we don't do that, yeah.
But that was my stipulation. When she told me that she wanted to go visit her family for a couple weeks, you know, I told her, I says, you know, that the only thing is you have to take a gun with you, so you have to figure it out. And sure enough, it worked out for her. So pretty good, yeah.
Worked really smooth.
Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us on this vlog number 3 video. If you guys have any questions for DocTacMom or myself, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. We'll try to get back to you. But we really, really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.
See ya.